cartoon character Pigpen is always dirty. He carries around with him the dirt of the ages. Some say that Pigpen is a consistent mess. I remember one cartoon where a little girl whispers to Charlie Brown, "Every inch of him is dirty." And Pigpen yells out, "My thoughts are clean." Pigpen always carries himself with dignity and with humility. He knows the important work to be done is the work that's done on the inside, not on the outside. We often miss that picture. We often read only the outward signs to determine who a person is or is not. We often only work on the outward signs, wearing not only clean clothes, but clothes that are in fashion, having the most popular technology and speaking clearly in the dominant language. We even strive to be the right body size, keeping track of our BMI, our weight, our body fat percentage. We even project beyond ourselves to the things we possess, having a newer car or a house in a specific neighborhood. The fact is, we spend the majority of our money sculpting our outer image. When we read the words of the psalmist, "Wash me clean," most of us will visualize ourselves like Pigpen, a cloud of dust swirling at our feet and our faces and our clothes covered with dirt. And when we are forgiven and washed clean, we emerge in pure white robes, faces shining brilliantly clean, and wonderfully fragrant hair. Those who know the Peanut strip know that there were several times that Pigpen got cleaned up. And when Pigpen was clean, nobody recognized him. When he put great effort into making his outside match the other kids' idea of clean, he didn't feel himself. And when he conformed and lost the dirt, he didn't get any special attention at all. The great thing about the Peanuts gang was they always included Pigpen and his cloud of dust. There were times when they wished Pigpen would conform, when they tried to clean him up, yet through their failures to change Pigpen, he remains one of the group. Our gospel lesson today captures the disciples in the same predicament as the Peanuts gang. They are trying to place Jesus into their idea of what a Messiah should be. They have come to the realization that Jesus is more than just the greatest teacher in the world. They have seen the signs that point to Jesus being the real Messiah. And when the representatives from other nations come to get an audience with Jesus, Jesus announces that it is time. Yes, the disciples think, now is the time. Gather the people together, claim your kingdom, build our armies, and lead us to claim back our rightful land. King Jesus, from the lineage of King David, is ready to rule. How shocked they must have felt when Jesus tells them that he will have to suffer, that he will be killed. And in 3 days, well, they probably didn't even hear that part. And Peter pulls Jesus aside and begins telling him how he can't die, how as the Messiah he was born to lead. And Jesus commands him to stop talking, calls him the devil. Jesus wasn't concerned about his outside. He was concerned with his inside. If he acted like the other kings, he would be denying all the things that he was on the inside. Jesus was much more willing to sacrifice the outside for what he was on the inside. My wife has a Pinterest account. I have one too, although I haven't pinned anything. Pinterest is an interesting online application. It is a collection of personal bulletin boards that people can pin pictures and posts and memes that have a special meaning for them. These boards give others the opportunity to look at another's board without knowing much about that person's outward appearance. They can see things like what a person believes or likes. They can see things a person creates. And more importantly, Pinterest encourages the participant to build boards that represent what they feel or like. Boards can represent who you are and what you can do. And most of all, it's free. So there is no economic tether to hold anyone back. My wife is often commenting that she gets lost in the black hole of Pinterest. It seems to me that when a person builds boards in Pinterest, they are exploring their inside person. They are also exploring and accepting the inside person of others. We don't work much on our inside person as much as we do on our outside person. I like the thought of getting lost in examining the black hole of who God made me to be. If we put a priority on being the inside person God made us to be, perhaps we can be more like Pigpen and not worry about presenting an acceptable outside person to the world. As Richard sings this week's song, Wash Me Clean, think about what it means to be washed clean by God. And instead of visualizing walking out of God's waters in a bright, white, and pure robe, think about how you look when God washes off what the world expects you to be and allows what God made you to be shine through. I am a little bit of a rock hound. I love to look at different rocks. It is especially amazing to see a rock before it is tumbled and polished, and then see the finished rock. And after rocks are cleaned and polished, they are not a clean slate, pure white, but instead shine with all the colors and designs and shapes of which they were made. Go in peace, letting God's gifts shine through you to the world. Amen.